Hello, traders. Welcome to this live webinar from a different spot than usual. I'm actually in a cottage after about 1.5 years of not traveling due to, well, family life. Of course, we have a small toddler, and also COVID. Obviously, a lot of restrictions don't make it easy to travel, especially with the toddler. Obviously, so that combination made us in a long lockdown with a lot of restrictions. So finally, things are getting a little bit better, and we're doing a trip for a week. So that's a great, great improvement compared to the last 1.5 years. So I'm doing it from a different spot. I hope that the connection is going to work properly. So let's see how it goes. If there's anything that doesn't work well, just let me know. We're going to take a look now in this live webinar from the Czech hillsides here at the performance or results in May 2021 with our automated trading and manual trading systems. Okay, so that's going to be the main focus. It's the 1st of June, new month. Summer for many has started, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. So let's take a look what May brought us. And of course, we have also, from a technical point of view, we have new monthly candles to look at in May. So that could also be something we can do after looking at the results. So let's start. Let's take a look at the portfolio. We'll just go one by one through all the systems. Okay. So I don't know which one to start, but we can start, for instance, with Zeus EA. Here's one of the first ones I bumped into at the top of the list here. So we have the PAM, which is the managed account with our partnered broker Key2 Markets, or KTM. And this is typically a system, as you perhaps know, that is very consistent. As you can look at this equity curve here, looking at the red dots, you can see that it's a very gradual pace, very gradual curve. Not many drawdowns in closed terms. As you can see, there were some drawdowns in open trades, floating losses. That's indicated by the yellow. But the closed performance is very steady, as you can see. And this particular floating loss was an isolated event for this particular account and was not visible in other accounts. So this was just a bit unlucky. Regarding the performance, anyhow, in May, let's scroll down. 3.33 is there, but average performance, as you can see, compared to the rest of the months. And steady as it goes, every month, some profits ranging anywhere from 3 to about 7, as you can see, or 2.5 to 7. 2.6 was the lowest, was the weakest month. But every month is a positive gain. So that's a great benefit of this EA, I think, in this system, is the consistency. It's up in total from the very start, plus 49%, approaching that 50% mark. And the monthly average is about 4.5. So May was slightly less than the monthly average, but still pretty good, 3.33 there. Profit factor 1.44. And as you can see, very decent win rate here, up in the or close to the 70%. The average win to average loss is about 2/3. Trade length is just a bit more than half a day. And let's see if we can see some other info. Risk of ruin is almost negligible here. Look at that. You know, the chance of losing 10% is less than 0.01%. Here's the volume, hourly, daily. So these are stats. Of course, you can feel free to reach out on your own, or feel free to view on your own. Obviously, just go to our portfolio page with Elite Currency. I will add the link, and you will see all the systems, all the back testing, all the live trading, and you can view Zeus EA in more detail. Now, if you want to join Zeus EA, there are two ways of doing so. You can become a profit share member. You will join this particular managed account, and or you can rent the EA and trade on your own. So the difference is that with the profit share module, you don't pay anything upfront at the start, but you pay as you go if there is a profit. Okay, 20 to 25% of the profit. Or if you rent it, you don't pay from the profit, but you pay at the start to rent the EA for a month or a year, and you get to keep all the profit, but you do have that rental at the start. So it depends both, or you can do both, or choose one of the two. It's up to you what you prefer. There's another Zeus EA account that we're trading. It started a little bit earlier. That's up 77.5, as you can see. Monthly about 5, very similar to the previous one. Same stats, 70%, profit factor about 1.5 indeed. Its performance was 3.6, slightly higher there, but April was lower, 2.7, whereas April's performance from the managed account was 7 point something. Okay, so it's about the same, 3.6, 3.3, very small difference there. So this is the our account that, this is an example of a rental performance, for instance. So this is an example of a rental performance. This is an example of a profit share. That's why we have two. Okay, so that's the Zeus EA, steady as it goes, again, with the performance in May. Let me see if there are any questions. No. All right, let's move on. Let's take a look at the next one. Let's take a look. So ECS LOA EA has been removed. We're not trading that EA anymore. That automated trading system is not going to be monitored. It's not going to be reviewed anymore in these monthly reviews. It's not something we're going to discuss. That has been already announced in May. We had an article, and also in our live weekly webinar, we discussed and explained all of that. But basically, although the performance did not seriously breach what we expect from backtesting, that said, it did break a little bit the max drawdown, and the equity curve in general was not looking that great. So we decided that this is not an EA that we would like to trade, and we don't think that this is an EA that our audience and followers would like to trade. So we decided to stop that EA. Okay, that's a brief update on that. So we will not be reviewing this particular automated trading system. So that leaves us with, let's go to the EAs from Mislav Nikolic, for instance, Ultima EA and Russia EA. All right, Ultima EA had some good upside here in February and March, had a great first quarter 2021. Last month was not that good in April, and this month in May, not that great either, but not as bad as April. So far, the second quarter is off to a weaker start. It's totaling a minus 30% result, minus 21. And if you add minus 8, that's about minus 30. 8.4 in the loss. So it's not a significant loss, but it is unfortunately a loss. So let's take a look at the drawdown at this moment. Drawdown did dip from 60 down to below 40, but it's now going up again and is going into the 50 zone. So let's see how this quarter ends up. This quarter needs about 50% performance, I think, to get into positive territory, which it can do. But that said, the EA itself hasn't had such a strong month for a while. So hopefully it can show that this year. Last year, of course, it ended on a negative note. This year started on a positive note. This is a little bit of a dip. If I analyze the equity curve, though, I think that there's a fair chance that this could be a higher low, and we'll get a bounce. So, but equity curve analysis is just one thing, of course, obviously. Okay. Russia, not much better here. A little bit worse, minus 13. So no spectacular performances here in May from both of these EAs. In fact, two losses, minus 8 and minus 13. So we're hoping that Russia can push up again. Russia can go very quickly, as you can see in February. We're waiting for that, hopefully this month, in June. Let's take a look at my SWAT EAs now. All right, SWAT EA DAX, 15-minute chart. Minus 8 in total at this moment, was up 8. Made a recent bounce here on the 1st of June from minus 13 to minus 8. starting June with a good start, plus 5.5 just in one day, just today. Closing some trades in June, in this first 10 hours of June. May itself, slight loss, minus 2.85. The SWAT DAX 1 hour chart is off to a great continuation here, plus 35% in total since the beginning, mid-February, monthly gain of 9%. The drawdown just 6.8 or 6.8%. As you can see, very low drawdown here, 6.8, 35% up. It was up all the way 45% at the May 21, but made some drawdown here. So going down from plus 45 to plus 35%, but still, despite the small drawdown at the end of May, still booking 22%, not 32, but 22, still good enough, still a good performance, very good performance here after some decent gains already in March and April, plus 8.7 and plus 4.9. So DAX SWAT EA is doing great. Now, I mentioned that the SWAT EA might be added to the SWAT course, but that said, one thing is that I didn't realize is that we're trading it on a demo. I totally didn't slip my mind, and we do want to have real trading performance first. So although it's doing great on a demo, that means that we're going to the second or the next phase, let's say, and I will be trading with my own money this EA very soon. As soon as I get back from the cottage next week, I already have my account set up for this DAX SWAT EA 1 hour chart. Just need to add the capital and I can start. So that should be very soon. I'll be trading this with real money. So we want to build up a real track record with real money for a few months, and then we will consider that. Okay, but on the demo, showing good results first. Now, if we take the total, of course, plus 35, and here minus 8, that's about plus 27. If we look at the net results, SWAT EA Euro Dollar 1 hour chart. Was off to a great start with plus 26.6%, but is now down all the way to plus 5. So that's a pretty steep drawdown here. As you can see, the drawdown is down 17% at this moment. Well, maybe steep is too harsh of a word, but definitely some drawdown is definitely there. And the performance in May is minus 8. All right, so if we calculate all the SWAT EA results of the first SWAT EA, let's say, then it's minus 8, plus 35, plus 5, that's plus 32% in about 3.5 months of trading. So not bad. I'm happy with that result personally. All right, let's take a look at ecsLIVE signals from Nenet. Plus 36%. And the track record is not verified. We're working on verifying it. We lost we were looking for the investor password. We found it. It will be verified today or tomorrow, so you can recheck that. Good performance in May, 6.2% there, after 2 smaller losses in March and April. So nice comeback there for ecsLIVE signals. 640 trades, 67% average, or 68, 67.5 probably win percentage. Profit factor 1.1. Average win versus average loss about 0.6, as you can see. Average trade length a little bit more than half a day. Most trades on the pound dollar, then gold, then euro dollar, pound yen, pound odd, pound cat, as you see, and then the list continues with a lot of different pairs. Most pips from gold, then S&P 500. Well, that's probably due to the counting, but pound dollar, 731 pips. Then it is a master pound dollar trader, as you can see, does very good on the pound dollar. Let's take a look at the weaker ones. Pound New Zealand, a bit tricky, as you can see, in pound yen as well. Hourly setups and trades. London session, New York session, as you can see. But even later on, daily is quite equally distributed, except Friday, a little bit less. Risk of ruin, very small chance to lose 30%. 40% is only a 4.8% chance. All right. Let's take a look now at that's ecsLIVE. So of course, if you want to join as ecsLIVE member and receive the trading ideas or the trades that Bennett takes himself, he's once again sharing his own ideas that he is trading in our Telegram channel. Feel free to go to elitecurrency.com. I can show you where to find that. The services, click on Forex and CFD. And yeah, basically, here you go. Zeus EA, as I mentioned, you can join Zeus EA right here. Click on the arrow or click on Start. ecsLIVE, click on Learn More. Ultima EA, by the way, is different model. If you rent the Ultima EA, you get 3 EAs nowadays. The Ultima EA 15-minute chart on the euro dollar, the Ultima Pro pound dollar 60-minute chart, and Russia EA 5-minute chart. So it's all a bundle, which gives you account diversification, portfolio diversification, lower drawdowns, and more consistent results overall. All right. Because even though, for instance, Ultima and Russia EA had losses this month, Ultima Pro could have a gain, so that balances, right? Or if Ultima Pro has a loss, then the other two might have gains, right? So there's more balance and more consistency in that. So you can rent that on a monthly or yearly basis. Check out Ultima EA. We'll have a new update today or tomorrow about that, by the way. Okay. If you're interested in SWAT, of course, or Black Widow, just scroll to the right here by clicking on these arrows or these buttons to see that. All right. Now, those are the main systems and trading methods that we are looking at. There are some other systems that are let's say, waiting for we're testing. Let's say we're waiting for their performance to see whether we will trade with them or not. Okay. One of them, so we don't review these regularly, but we can do that today just to get an idea about what's going on. So, for instance, there's a second EA that I'm trading, right? But it's not doing that great at this moment. It's minus 17.5%, as you can see. So it's off to a weaker start, but it's a short period of time. So, and it had decent gains in when looking at the charts and when testing, and the logic I think is quite solid. So I'm still going to give this one more time. All right, but this one you wouldn't see on our portfolio page because this is still something that we're testing. Okay, we have the BTC, Bitcoin, EA, and it did a great job in May with plus 14%. So we're still waiting for this one to gain more data, to gain more track record to see how this develops. It had a drawdown, but it's climbing back, so it makes sense to keep an eye on this and to keep trading it and see how it develops. See, the drawdown is going down. Drawdown almost at 25%, but I think 25% is very manageable from my perspective. Anything within 30%, I think, should be fine for most traders that are used to trading with leverage. So yeah, I think that this is still good to keep an eye on that. Then there's the Let's Dance. I'm trading this one with my own money, as you can see here. And yeah, also a drawdown, but within 12% and fighting back. So, I don't want to give up on trading systems that have a drawdown. I think that drawdowns are very logical and very normal for EAs and manual systems in general. So the difference with the London Open Advanced is that there was no recovery. There was just, it was just a quite decent decline, and the recoveries were not showing much rebound. Okay, so that's the main difference. Here we do see rebound. So I'm willing to test and keep trading these EAs and see how they develop, right? Because these rebounds are showing that there is some potential here. So plus 5% in May. All right, so those are the systems waiting in the wings, let's say, for the moment. Not good enough yet, I think, to be added to Elite Currency website, but something that we're trading and we're monitoring, basically. Okay, so that's it. More EAs, well, we're working on them. I'm working with basically on a third EA at the moment, third SWAT EA. I have about, I think, 8 more other ideas that are pending development. This third idea has been completed in the meantime. Compared to last week, the EA is finalized. Now the testing phase has started. So we'll see if the rules are working as they should. We'll do some testing, back testing, etc. Okay, so that's coming up. The portfolio idea that I've mentioned several times is we're also, of course, continuing to work on setting that up, and we'll start live trading soon. Well, we actually started live. I should correct myself. We started live trading already, but I mean that the official start for other traders, we hope to open up the doors, let's say, in June. I'm not sure if we're going to manage, but that's our we want to, of course, try to start as soon as possible. But our own live trading has already started. I haven't added here to my FX book, but that's something I can do for next month already. All right, regarding the market, we can maybe take a quick look. Oh, wait. Yeah, Joel, indeed. Yes. The results of Russia and our account are much worse. I can show you Mislav's account. And unfortunately, his is much better, and ours is not equal to his. Let's take a look. And he's up 65%. So the difference, the article today and tomorrow will explain that. No, actually, the video will explain that. The difference is that each account was trading separately. So the trades were different because of that. Now they're copied. So the signals are the same on both accounts. So the difference between them, unfortunately, was created. Let's take a look at. Let's see. As you can see, his move up here was a lot stronger in February than ours. So the drawdown is the same, but his upside is here strong. So because of that strong upside, he's still in positive territory, whereas we had too weak of an upside, and now we're getting the drawdown on top of that. So to solve that, the trades are now being copied instead of independently traded. So yeah, I totally agree. The overall result for Rush EA is, on our count, is minus 44. That's a sturdy loss at this moment. Now, with regard to the drawdown, that is something that can happen with Rush EA, also in testing, by the way. Actually, with 5% risk per setup, the drawdown could reach 75%. With 3% risk per setup, the drawdown can reach 50%. So that is not different compared to backtesting, actually. So backtesting shows that the Rush EA has a high profit potential, but the drawdowns can be quite sturdy and quite strong. Okay, even with 3%. So from that perspective, it's not strange. That said, of course, It is, it's a difficult result to handle for us and for everyone. And secondly, it is a lot less than what Mislav has, achieved. So to solve that, the trades are now copied instead of independently traded, and we're basically getting the same trades. Let me see if that addresses the question. So yeah, so Joe, the backtesting and the live results are not in a way different, because we can see such results in backtesting too. But it is true that the results between Mislav and our account are different, and hopefully that has been, as far as I understand, that has been solved. So let's see. Yeah, the profit potential so far is a lot less. Even with is a lot less indeed. I mean, with Mislav's account is up 65 after for 8 months of trading, which is about 6%. I'm not sure what the profit potential was anymore in the testing. Hang on, but I think it was less indeed. I think it now the actual result, sorry, is less. Let's take a look. Yeah, 23.5. So there is a substantial difference there. That said, of course, we have to keep an eye on the fact that 8 months is still relatively short period of time. So we'll probably, after another 12 months, we'll see how that averages out over a longer period of time. Ultima EA, indeed, yeah. Basically, 2020 was not that bad for us because of the results in January, February. But for those that started after that, who started in March or April 2020, the account is basically going flat, right? It's going sideways. So if you miss those 2 months, then you didn't catch that profitability in 2020. So that's frustrating. For those, if we look at 2021, if we just look at 2021 without the past, then the account let's see. Slightly up, 16.5. So the first quarter was enough to compensate the last 2 months of weaker performance. As you can see, this is the 2021 equity curve, right? So yeah, it's for those that started in March, or in June, those are kind of the unlucky traders that missed the profitability of 2020. And from their perspective, it's slow. I totally understand, and that can be frustrating, right? If we isolate the results and look at 2020, the whole 2020 and the whole 2021, then 2020 was in line with the profitability we've seen in other years because of January, February. Because January made, I think, 20%, and February made 200%. This year is a bit slow indeed. It's 16.5. That's, we would expect higher. That said, it's just 5 months, right? So it's already a decent period of time. So 5 months in, it's plus 16.5 at this moment. But it's also with 3% risk, by the way. Let's take a look at the 3% with Ultima EA testing. And yeah, 217 to 220 had definitely higher monthly average, as you can see. All right, but if we add, I don't know if we have it here. No, I have it. Sorry, hang on. This is a 2% and a full 10-year of testing, and you can see with 2% it was 2% monthly gain. So if we take 3%, we could expect probably 50% more. So the long-term results is about 3% per month with Ultima EA, right? If you look at the long view, let's say from 2010 to 2020, you can find this on our Elite Currency page. Go to my FX Book Members Elite Currency, scroll down to Strategies, and click on Ultima 2%. And here the live trading performance. Okay. So definitely the 217 to 220 results were above average. But when we look at the long-term results, they're lower. So with the long-term results of 3% per month times 5, that's 15%. So actually, the current Ultima results plus 16 is about on average of what we see in the long term, in a very long term, like 10 years of testing. All right, but it's below the average of the last 3 years. So feel free to check out, that on our portfolio. Let me see if I answered all of Joe's questions. No, let's see. Yeah, so definitely, patience is needed, as you can see. It can take really long time to develop, and secondly, risk capital we can afford to lose, so that we don't look at every up and down with too much nerves. And I understand that for those that have been trading this for a year, you already showed a lot of patience, right? So I understand that. What I try to do is just see it as a long-term thing, and not try to get too shaken or rattled by by these ups and downs as much as I can. Try to create a portfolio of EAs within a wider portfolio approach with my capital in general, right? All right, so I hope that makes sense. That's why we're trying to add more EAs to gain more diversification as well. All right, because we started only with the Ultima EA, of course, and in the meantime, we have now Ultima EA, Ultima Pro, Rush EA, SWAT EA, Zeus EA 5, and hopefully more in the near future. Plus, we have options actually, of course, and ecsLIVE as well. So 7 in total. Anything else to add? Nothing that crosses my mind at this moment. But that's, the rental is addressing that a little bit. The rental has been changed. It has Rush, Ultima EA, and Ultima Pro. All right, your dollar hitting that resistance zone that I mentioned, ABC pattern, probably completed a price reacting very strongly to this Fibonacci resistance zone. That's what I mentioned in my yesterday's analysis. It's reacting from that zone right now. Monthly chart, bullish candle, but retesting the previous top, so I still expect a bounce. Strong monthly candle on the gold. I expect gold to go higher to test at least this resistance zone up in here. But maybe first a small pullback and then up. Bitcoin, Ethereum, making a triangle for the moment. But considering the strong support area that I consider here at around 30K with the 61.8 fib bounce right here, I think this is the leading momentum, not the downward momentum, but the upside. So I still think that price will test the 78.6 fib probably, but bounce there. So this could be an ABC correction, hit 78 and bounce. Same for Ethereum. So it's accumulation phase, but I think it will break to the upside rather than the downside. But as you can see, the 61.8 fib. But if it does break, then the next fib to deal with is 78.6 fib here at 12. But I don't think it will break for a lower low, personally. So I expect euro dollar and pound dollar to make downside retracements. Bitcoin, Ethereum to consolidate, but then break up, personally. Gold to retrace, pull back, and bounce for a test of the higher high. That's a quick overview. I'm running out of time. So I want to thank everyone for joining today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out in the chat. Next week, we'll be back with a weekly update. And wish everyone great trading in the meantime. All right. Check out our website, of course, elitecurrency.com for more info and more updates. All right. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.